In the introduction, I briefly described the concept of a mix having three distinct sonic dimensions. When I listen to a track, I look for elements that I can place within these three dimensions. So how do I specifically paint this sonic picture? A great example is when I record a live orchestra. I like to use the natural room acoustics to my advantage by thoughtfully placing the mics and then assessing which ones to bring up in the mix. Before I go into the control room, I always go out to the stage and listen to how the orchestra sounds within the hall and then recreate that depth of field in the mix. When you stand directly behind the conductor, close your eyes and listen closely, you can feel the depth and dimension of the room. When you listen instead of hear, hearing is physical, listening is mental. Your mind will place the first chair violins right next to you and the last chair perceivably farther away from you. The woods will be a bit farther back, the brass even further, with the percussion in the far back of the room. This is how your listening mind builds depth of field. I want the audience to hear the depth of field that the conductor is hearing. This same recreation of depth of field applies to mixing artificial elements in addition to live instruments. When assessing where to place certain elements in the mix, I might find one sound that I want to be in the forefront. I'll put it right in the center, perhaps filter it with a bandpass and narrow it down by smashing it with a compressor to make it small. Next, I'll look for other elements in the mix that I'll place far left and right with medium ambience and pleasing imagery with a wide sonic spectrum. Then finally, I'll listen for certain sounds to place way, way back, like someone talking at the end of a tunnel. I will often use a 7-second reverb and virtually no direct signal to pull you away from what's in the forefront. Bearing in mind the existence of these loose fields within the three dimensions, you can begin to create a deep and engaging sonic picture that will add emotional depth and impact to the music you are mixing.